Hi everybody, good afternoon. This is Jean here, Jean Truelove from Truelove Quilts for you. We've just gotten back from the second day at the quilt show, the Pennsylvania Extravaganza National Quilt Show in Oaks, Pennsylvania, the Expo Center. It is September the 14th, Saturday, going into the evening. Oh, well, I'm tired. We went yesterday, Maxwell, Ian, and myself, and met some lovely people. Yesterday, Friday morning, and then today, my friend Tara and our friend Jen came. I have some pictures of them that I'll be putting up, and we went again today. When you buy a ticket for the first day, you get an armband, a wristband, and you can get in for free the rest of the show. It's awesome. So Ian and Maxwell and I went today and saw Jen and Tara. Jen did have an appointment that she could only spend a little while at the quilt show with us. So she will be coming back, and we together, in maybe the next week or so, will be sort of reviewing or talking about different things, and the quilt show in particular. But I just wanted to tell you my sort of the cliff notes of what Jen and I both thought, and Ian and Maxwell. I will be doing several quilt show videos, so please, when you see say part 1, part 2, part 3, please click on and watch, maybe 20 minutes each, of all of the different quilts. I really did like to photograph quite a lot of them, and on another SD card, which I have to make another video, maybe or two, is Ian and Maxwell narrating and going around with their own camera and taking pictures and what appealed to them. As I said, Maxwell was a good sport to be able to come with me. One of the youngest kids there, one of the youngest people there. And that brings me to this point. And Maxwell and Ian were like, well, maybe you better not say it, Jean, but I will, because Jen and I were talking about it also. The overall consensus of the quilt show, this is about my 8th year going to a quilt show. And let me just say, it was nothing like it used to be. And without sounding horrible, or I'm completely off beam, but I thought it, Ian said it, Jen said it, and my friend Tara alluded to it, having never been to a quilt show, that there were hardly any vendors, and the vendors that were there, there were lots of, let me just say, 5 or 6 large stalls of machines, sewing machines, awesome machines, long arm machines, and sit down quilting machines, and off the chart fabulous embroidery machines, and sergers and embroidery things, all sorts of machines that were taking up quite a lot of, as you walked in, the floor space, the vendors, and then smaller vendors behind. But this actual quilt show, there used to be vendors like halfway along the expo center, and there weren't. There were vendors there that I've seen for years that were not there, actually selling fabric. Now, there was a vendor, and if any of you know quilt shows or in the area, there was a gentleman who used to have and his wife, an older gentleman, and his wife used to have an old beaten up sign on his back. It was such a busy stall that the sign on his back said, the lines forms behind me. This old sign on this gentleman. I've seen him at every quilt show I've been to, and he had an incredible, massive, fabulous fabric, and the lines were deep, and I believe it was his wife, an older lady, lovely couple, who would be cutting and getting things out of totes, and they were many quilt shows. He was not there, and he had fabulous fabric. Now, when I started quilting 20 years ago, fabric you could get for $4 or $5 a yard. Fabric is now $13 or $14 a yard. It's an extremely expensive hobby if you're going to go that route. Now I get the whole thrifting, Goodwill, cutting up your dad's shirts. That's a whole great, wonderful thing. But the actual industry of quilting is very expensive. Now Jen's take on it was, well, there's so many machines that perhaps the bigger, the better, the more what bells and whistles. Those machines are making your quilting easier for, let me just say it, for older people. This is a general fact that the quilting community, there is a small amount of people who are young and upcoming and loving the whole art and the whole craft, but the majority of quilters are older women who have perhaps a dispensable, expendable budget, who have extra money for the machines, for a long arm. We met two people who just like, yeah, well, I got into quilting and I bought myself a long arm. If you have to understand, and you can buy them at quilt shows. Long arms are $20, $30, $40, $50,000. You get mortgages, you get second loans, you own a long arm machine. It is an investment. So Ian was saying that the vendors who had their place in the show, maybe I do know in a quilt show in an exposition hall, when you go to register or when you go to reserve spots, each like a 10 by 10 spot is X amount of dollars. Well, these people had, and some of them were local, had maybe 5 or 6 or 7 stall sizes, massive, huge, great big swathes of real estate on the floor. So they're spending tens of thousands to have this space. But Ian was saying one of the machines we looked at, which was sort of front and center of one of the vendors, was $19,000. So he says, well, if they sell 2 machines, then, in that time, then they perhaps have covered their cost of the venue and paid their employees and made a little bit of money. So hopefully the vendors were doing well selling machines. But there were not a tremendous amount of fabric sellers. The ones that were there were very busy. I would say there was a third, maybe 2/3 less than it used to be. I mean, we've been going to quilt shows for a long time, and it was obvious. And Jen said, again, not to be crude, but perhaps, hopefully not, but is the art dying, or are people dying? The caliber of quilting, the ones that were mind-bogglingly spectacular were mind-bogglingly spectacular. People are putting out unbelievable works of art, as you know, as you will see. But they were, when it used to be when it used to be 6 in 10 or 7 in 10, maybe it was, 2 in 10 were spectacular. Because maybe, just my take on it, please don't take offense, please don't give me nasty comments, but Jen and myself, and Ian and Maxwell were both like, it just was not the same. There seemed to be a little bit of, not desperation, but I really felt for the vendors who were there, because there were not a lot of people there. We went Friday from 10:30 to 2, not a lot of people. And we went today, this morning, from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock, not a lot of people. And as Jen was saying, we have never gone to a quilt show on a Saturday because we wanted to avoid the crowds. We don't like the crowds. Well, there were no crowds. There were no crowds. And we've been to quilt shows where when I'm filming, I'm embarrassed because I'm knocking into someone, like, and we're giggling and laughing and everything. There was not a lot of people there, I should say, which is a shame. So I don't know. Is this an indication? People who have money and are spending it on machines. Oh, I was so envious. I would like another machine. I have so many machines. Oh, I have 3 or 4 machines, but every machine does something different. I was like, oh, shiny. Obviously didn't get one. But there are people who are buying machines, all the bells and whistles machines. More power to them. Unbelievable. Awesome. But again, you know, it's expensive. And you know, Maxwell was very, very forthright, and he's like, I don't know a lot of young kids who have that kind of money. Now, again, the whole recycling thing, I don't want to get into that, because you can make quilts with sheets, and I get that, I understand that. But if you actually want to purchase beautiful fabric from manufacturers, it's expensive. So the quilt show, we went twice. We enjoyed it thoroughly. We really, really did. But we did have that. We did come away with the impression that it's not quite like it used to be, for whatever reason. And there may be many reasons affecting the industry. We don't know. That's just our opinion. And who am I? But anyway, the few bits, I'm going to be making several videos, because I'm talking right now for a while, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. Maxwell and Ian, they're on a separate video because they took a separate camera. So I'll be doing that within the next few days. Jen and I'll be doing day 1, day 2. We met some beautiful people yesterday, and my friend Tara came today. Didn't meet anybody today, but we met about half a dozen people yesterday. Some viewers of mine who poked us on the shoulder. I am feeling better, but I did get very, very tired. I wanted to tell you, I actually bought a walker, a red one, a lovely red walker with a seat. I thought I would need it, but there were enough seats to be able to go and sit down, have a drink, and as I said, the crowds just weren't there. So I felt safe, and I am feeling better from my long COVID, but it is long COVID. It is hanging on a bit, the exhaustion, but every day I'm taking all my supplements, and I want to thank you so much. This is the first time I have been out, and it was lovely. It was enjoyable. We did come home at around noon, about 1 o'clock or so, and 2 o'clock, and absolutely crashed and had a rest, but it was worth it. It was just lovely. So that's my take on it. If anybody has an opinion, or if they've gone, let me know in the comments. I mean, we had a lovely time. It was wonderful. And the quilts that did win and that were displayed were just lovely. Really, really nice. So, yeah, thanks so very much. I hope you enjoy the following videos that I'm going to be putting up. All right, folks. Thanks. Hi, everybody. Good morning. This is Jean here. And Ian. Why are you laughing?
Well, if only they knew what you did a second ago. I won't.
I just spit out my gum. Hey, Maxwell, babe. So we are at the quilt show, and are you okay, Maxwell?
I don't know.
Ian and Maxwell.
He's having a happy fit behind us.
Are you happy, Maxwell, to be here?
Ecstatic.
Yes, very.
So I am feeling a little bit better. I actually purchased a walker, but I'm going to see how I feel.
I didn't cost much.
No, it didn't.
I'm the walker.
Oh, he's the walker.
I'll give you a piggyback.
I'm not quite sure if I'm going to put my mask on, because I'm getting really claustrophobic. But we'll see how it goes. So I'm going to go in and check out my quilts, and we're going to see all the quilts. All right. See you.
So what did you say when I just whistled? And you came over. I found both of the quilts together.
Here and here.
Can you believe it?
Yeah, I'm so pleased.
I love that quilt. Love that quilt.
Oh, it looks nice, doesn't it? Oh, it looks really nice. Oh.
The snowflakes.
Yeah.
And every one different. Almost like a sampler quilt that you were just explaining to me what a sampler quilt was. Never knew. Now look at this.
Yeah. Oh.
Every block has a hand embroidered centerpiece. Look at them. This is my Jean's favorite bird. What's that called? Is that a red bird?
It's a cardinal.
Just wanted to hear your voice, my darling. I knew it was a cardinal. A red bird.
Oh, it looks so nice.
Butterflies.
Oh.
That's Jean's mother's favourite animal.
And what's that
And
one?
then her spirit animal. She identifies with a cow. In London, she might be called a... No, mustn't say that.
That's so nice. Man. That's so terrible.
Well, they speak of older ladies who are
Okay.
can give you a hard time. They call them.
Right, Ian. Shut
Yes.
up.
Oh, look, here's another butterfly.
I got 4
Blue.
butterflies on it. I got 4
Blue.
butterflies on it. Look at that one.
Yes. How
Oh,
gorgeous.
it looks pretty, doesn't it?
And there we have an elephant. That's an African elephant
I
with
like
the big
mine.
ears.
Yeah. And the tusks.
Yep. A squirrel. Past another butterfly we come to a fox. That looks like an English fox. And then a Highland cow. Very, very impressive. Hang on, I just put you in it.
This one? So this red, black, and white sampler is the best of show. And the workmanship in this quilt. We love sampler quilts, and I love the red, black, and white. My favorite color. It's a real showcase of talent. Wish you guys could see that up close. That tiny, tiny, tiny micro stitching. It truly is something to behold. Best of show. 3 colors primarily, but obviously there's pinks and mauves and blacks and grays, creams, maroon, burgundies, and then the piece de resistance, the lace edging with the prairie points and the sequin trim around the border. So this is by Judy Woodworth, Rapid City, South Dakota. And that, my folks, is the 2024 Best of Show. Beautiful. Oh. Yeah.
I really picked that one out
Oh.
myself. That's so imaginative. And look at the border, or the surrounds in the corners and the edges. Just, what are they? Hexagonal.
That is astounding. I believe this is a, I don't know if it's a Judy Niemeyer piece or Jacqueline de Jong pattern, but the color placement on this is second to none. And then look at the little applique dots. Did it win a ribbon? Oh, no. As Ian says, what do you say about it? About
some people understand the colour wheel, others don't. This lady, Terry Lieberman, has done a magnificent job.
Yeah.
The colour wheel is the placement of the colours in the design, and the overall design is just stunning.
And
outstanding.
How that doesn't win a ribbon? Sorry, but we shouldn't be judges. Yeah.
Some
anyway,
people's taste is in their mouth only.
Ian, you can't say that.
You mustn't say that.
The judges.
You must not talk about the judges
No,
that way
you mustn't
and
talk
put
about.
it on camera.
I know, seriously.
Wow.
This, though, if we were the judges,
I'm
this
so
would
controversial.
win. This, you are controversial. Shut up. This would win a ribbon. That is unreal. Look at that, folks. Is that ribbon worthy? Come on. Come on. Well, Terry Lieberman, Westchester, PA, not too far away from here. You are a ribbon winner in our eyes.